got me a new carburetor, got my old carburetor, and I got that piece of linkage that was missing. Problem I'm having, you see that choke linkage on the top of the new carburetor? It don't match the one on the old carburetor for the auto choke. So what I'm gonna do, there's an E-clip on the bottom of that pin. I'm gonna pop that E-clip out and swap the choke levers or the choke shafts over on the two of them. And when I get that done, I'll come back to you. Well, I had success. And I'm gonna try and point it out. That little tiny E-clip right there. Pull it off of here and put it back on. Yeah, let me know how y'all do at it. Because I used all my ninja skills to get that thing off and on. But I got it mounted up here on there. Let me finish connecting up this linkage. Here's that new linkage that was missing when we got it in. I just need to connect up my throttle linkage and this choke and mount this thing. I got two little old Torx head screws that hold the choke mounting bracket on here. Unfortunately, the heads are about stripped out on them. Somebody decided to use an Allen wrench on it. I'm going to do my best to try and get them tight back down in there. I would put the worst one in the back. Now, like a lot of y'all, I can't fault the fella for attempting to do his own repairs. But all in all, it sure does make it difficult when they give up and it's the next guy's turn. No doubt about it. Now, got our throttle on. Our choke appears to be working good. I don't like all this raggedy old fuel line. What do you say we get some new fuel line on there? There's no gas in it, I don't believe. Well, ain't no gas in it, I'm sure of it. I do have us a new fuel line. I got rid of all these doggone little old clamps like this. I don't know about y'all, I hate these doggone things. Little old things always stove up, freeze up, screws come out of them and just throw them away. I like these on here much better. I will turn that one. I don't want nobody to cut their finger on it. Figured out how come this cowling was sitting up on here all jacked up. That doggone bolt was backed out, and when I took the recoil off of it, it backed out with it. So we've got it seated back down where it ought to be. And I have went ahead and strung up the recoil assembly. I'll cut it loose when I determine what length I want up there. I'll go ahead and put this air cowling back on. Get the recoil starter back on here. String it up. Mount my air filter, throw some oil in it, and when you come back, we're going to bust this girl off. That's my plan anyway. She better run. one thing we found wrong with this thing when it came in, customer had this gasket on like this. That's backwards. And upside down. I mean, you can't get no more wrong than that. Backwards and upside down. When you get that gasket worked up on there, it should look like this. Bingo. Dead it right. I like it. That's the way we want it to be. Y'all back up. Get out the doggone way. Let me finish up. Our air breather back on here. Air filter up in there. Piece of devil out of that. That thing looks like it's been fuel soaked a time or two. That looks good. I'm anxious to see how it cranks with that choke mechanism put on there. Y'all don't mind, move over here and get out the doggone way. RPM sound a little low, but let's put a little tack on it and see where we're at. That does sound low. That ain't gonna be no fun to get to. You know what? I want to use my fancy dancy little old. I want to use my fancy dancy little old RPM tester. That's the devil to get to up in there. You know what we're gonna do? Devil with that, we're going old school, son. How many of y'all know what that is right there? We're just going to revert to using this. I still know how. RPMs up. I ain't happy. I ain't got one of them oddball spark plugs. We have to wait till we get one. I've cleaned it up a little bit. I did go ahead and throw a fresh plug in it. This one I cleaned up to try and test it. But man, she was spitting and sputtering there, and new plug straightened that right on out. I replaced that Kohler plug with the only thing I could find, which was a Champion RA8HC. Guys, tell me if I did the right thing. Keep in mind, this whole mower came in because the engine was loose on the deck. We drilled one out that I broke. Replaced all three, bolted through the deck to it. Firmed it up, nice. That's all the man asked for right there. And if you can, sharpen the blade. We took care of that. Scratch that off the list. In the process, I saw some things I wasn't happy with. Would you continued on? Or would you just done the bare bones minimum and what the man asked? It ran awful. It didn't run good. Upon a little investigation, we saw we had some issues with the carburetor. Missing linkage. Check. Bowl gasket broken. Mountain gasket on backwards. We took care of that. I put another carburetor on it. They cheap. Throwed it on there. Cheaper than cleaning it. Cheaper than cleaning it and ordering parts. For me it was. Check. We changed the oil in it. We sharpened the blade. We went ahead and put a fresh plug in it. It still had the original plug in this old mower. Changed that out. Fuel lines. Went ahead and replaced all the fuel lines. They were awful. I hate those doggone clamps that was on there. We set the engine RPM. Thing was running 26, almost. We set it at 32. I lubed the cables on it. What'd that take? A few minutes, let it sit overnight, work them back and forth. They were working. Just need a little love in there. Replaced the pull cord. It was short. It done broke. He tied it off right here and was having to reach down here to crank it. We took care of that. Let's don't forget that belt guard for the drive system under there. It was bent all out of shape. Straightened it back up, put it on there. Seems to be fine. Mower is pulling good. We give it a quick little cleanup. Nothing special. Sprayed it down, wiped it off. We didn't spend a lot of time. I knew he was going to tie that doggone discharge chute back open. I didn't want it tied back to this recoil again. I did. I put a bolt in it and a washer. Give something to tie to. Lastly, the engine code. The sticker is about gone on it. I took the time. How long it'll be there, I don't know. But at least I took the effort to write it on the mower deck. Did I go too far? Or is that what you need to do when you put your name on it? Guys, let me know. I appreciate you watching. And if you get time, please check out David at Savage Small Engines. Leave it better than you found it. Hey, a subscribe is appreciated. Thumbs up are welcome. And by golly, I do read all my comments. Woo-hoo, that wraps this up.